All right, guys, welcome back. Boots come in pairs. More baseball to talk about. A lot of fun if you're a Cubs fan. A lot of fun if you're a Cardinals fan. Yuck. Um, but if you're not already following us, subscribe. We're almost at 30 subscribers, which is cool. So who wants to be lucky number 30? Um, almost 50 episodes in here too, so we'll probably do something cool for that. But just a lot of good stuff coming up. Every time we drop a short, it seems to go off as well. So good engagement there. Into the baseball sphere, it's cool to see some guys doing really well. And one guy I want to note first off, numbers wise, is kind of crazy. I don't think I've seen. I heard it the other day, but I didn't believe it. Aaron Judge is hitting 395 with 18 homers and 47 RBIs. And he kind of said the last couple of days he's felt off. And for him, off means I'm only getting 2 for 5 instead of 3 for 4, whatever it is. I don't remember seeing someone this late in the season hit close to 400 since Larry Walker and Nomar did it, almost all season. Any thoughts on Aaron Judge? His defense, if you can mash through it, I guess you just kind of ignore it, right? So
it's remarkable. It is very remarkable. He's a shade under 400, 395.
He's cooled off.
It cooled off a little bit, but not much. It's remarkable to watch. Very exciting player. I think Luis Arraez a couple years ago, he was also close to hitting 400 for a lot of the season. I think he ended up hitting like 340, 350. It's going to be a little bit difficult for him to keep it up, especially with the kind of hitter that he is. But the things that are working for him are obviously making an insane amount of contact, but also he's not striking out nearly as much as he has in the past.
Yep.
His strikeout rate is down. He's being more patient, which the guy is feared. So why not be patient? Why not be a little selective? He's got a lot of plate coverage as well. So yeah, it's remarkable. It's great to watch. Aaron Judge is a great ambassador for the game. He's a great face of the game as well. He's been healthy, which is good. Return to right field, not really making much of an impact out there. But for him, it's just about being serviceable because the bat's his calling card. So yeah, pretty much just stay in the lineup. Don't get hurt. I don't think he'll hit 400. It's just not the kind of hitter that he is. But it's cool to watch this far into the season. We're about a third of the way through.
Yeah, your batting average isn't swung 10 points every at bat anymore. So this is an established batting average. It's really fun to see. You alluded to Luis Arraez. Side note on him, he is tracking for a Tony Gwynn type season of 14 strikeouts this year. That is what he's on pace to do. He doesn't have 14 on the year. He's on pace to have 14 for the entire year, which means, I don't know, he struck out twice already. That's love to see that. Hate all the strikeouts. So it's good to see guys actually.
Him and Jacob Wilson are in the same class. Like Jacob Wilson doesn't strike out a lot either. Yeah. He's great.
He's almost, great. I would say he's closer to maybe Starlin Castro. I'm not talking about strikeouts, but I just mean like he doesn't walk at all. And he just hits the ball. Or maybe Juan Pierre, just getting lots of hits, although he's definitely shown a little bit of power, more than his dad.
Right. For sure.
Yeah, those kind of hitters are fun to watch.
He'll be an all-star. He'll be an all-star for sure.
Shortstop's tough. I don't know.
But A's representative, I mean, he's the guy. If that's how we're playing it.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. Yeah, you only need one A, right?
It's not going to be Mason Miller.
No, they've been playing better. The A's have until this last stretch where they've lost 10 in a row.
Oh yeah, that's rough.
They were 500. They were almost second place in the division. All of a sudden, they dropped like a stone.
They're playing some tough teams, though. I mean, Houston's tough, man. They're a good team.
Houston, you know what? Every team in baseball is tough, so
they are, except for the Rockies and the White Sox. But even they're tough. The White Sox beat the Mets today, and the Rockies have been giving the Cubs fits. So
wind blowing in, it happens. Another couple hitters that are doing well. Ronald Acuna came back, homered on the first pitch he saw, and Shohei Ohtani is the first person to 10 home runs. Although
20.
Oh, sorry, yeah,
20 home
20 home
runs.
runs. Although he only has 35 RBIs and he only has 11 stolen bases. So he is not on track to repeat the 50-50 season as predicted. I think he's wrapping up his bullpen sessions, whatever. We'll see if we're right or not. The one thing I have on the two of those guys is they both hit out of the leadoff spot.
Yeah.
And we've seen that with Kyle Schwarber, although Kyle Schwarber has also moved down in the lineup. That their homers, their power isn't necessarily benefiting their team in the win column. The Dodgers have kind of been scuffling lately. I know they have pitching problems, but the 35 RBIs is what I want to highlight for Ohtani. 20 homers, 35 RBIs. Do you think that power isn't better suited lower in the lineup? I think, and this is just kind of a thought I've been having, putting those guys lead off. I understand it's devastating when they lead off the game with a home run, but it's only one run. Those power numbers, I think, would be better suited lower in the lineup, 2, 3, 4, whatever it is. What do you think about that concept of having these guys hit lower in the lineup just because of their power?
I agree that his power would be beneficial lower in the lineup, but I think he's doing exactly what the Dodgers need him to do out of the leadoff spot. Your job is to get on base or score runs, and he's doing that whether he's hitting a double or smacking a home run. But yeah, with them being where they're at right now, moving him down would be more beneficial, I guess. But who do you shift to the leadoff spot? And because here's the thing, so Freddie's hitting 2, Mookie's hitting 3, Teoscar's hitting 4. Will Smith is hitting like 330. He's hitting like 5 or 6. It's like, so if you move Ohtani down, those guys are all smacking the ball, and then you don't have a leadoff hitter. So it's kind of a weird situation. I think their issues are rooted in their pitching. Yeah. Most of their starters are hurt. Tanner Scott got blown up today. Like, they have another couple high leverage relievers who are on, like, their issues are pitching related. I don't think it's offense related.
Right. I don't recall how many.
I'm just saying, who do you, so I agree 100%. But it's like, who do you lead off? Like, where do you move Mookie to the leadoff spot and shift Shohei back? I don't know. I just think that Shohei Ohtani, and and here's the thing, I've never disliked the guy. Like, he's done nothing. He says nothing. He's so respectful. You've seen videos of him, like, when he comes back to the dugout or he's sitting in the dugout, he's like getting water for his teammates. The guy is just a stellar human being, taking the gambling stuff out of it, maybe.
That part,
which is allegedly gambler.
We'll never
but
know.
He just does exactly what his team needs him to do. And I'm gaining more and more respect for him. And not that I didn't have any respect for him before, but I'm starting to like him more. He's starting to frustrate me less, because you see he signs the big deal and he's doing all the things, and you see Juan Soto signing the big deal and he's doing none of the things. He's being the complete opposite of what Ohtani is being as just a player and all that. So I don't know.
We can get to that in a minute. I was with the Dodgers lineup, it's an embarrassment of riches. So technically he's doing the thing. It's just I think for the number of home runs he has and the RBIs, for me, that's just a missed opportunity. I would expect a guy that has 20 home runs to have, well, look at Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge has 18 home runs and 47 RBIs. So he's got, 13 more. Like, it's just, I don't know. I think he could have last year with the 50-plus home runs had 140 RBIs, 150 RBIs if he was lower in the lineup. I don't know. I don't know who best lead off. I think for the Braves, it's a little more clear cut.
Right. But at the same time, like, it's all hypotheticals. Yeah. You don't know if he's going to get the same pitches. They might pitch around him more. Like, when you're hitting in the leadoff spot, like, you have the opportunity to ambush a pitcher, like first pitch. They were talking about PCA the other night about him. One of the biggest things that he's doing is like early in the counts, like
Yeah.
ambushing people and getting off a good swing. Like pitchers, most of the time when they lead off a game or they start off in at bat, they want to pound the strike zone. They want to throw a strike. They're not trying to pitch around the leadoff hitter. Like,
Yeah.
so not jumping on the pitch.
Yeah.
Like if he's given, and I mean, they've talked about it in the analytics circles as well, like how overrated the RBI stat is. It's really about opportunity. You still have to put your bat on the ball. I love RBIs. I love driving in runs. Runs help you to win the game, but it's all opportunity based.
Yeah.
Like if you have the guys on base and you come up and you're a good hitter, you're gonna have a lot of RBIs. It's just naturally how it's gonna be.
Yeah. And I think you're right too. I mean, lineup construction has a lot to do with that. And if you have no protection, then it doesn't matter where you're batting. And we saw that with the Cubs last year. There was no protection anywhere. And adding a guy like Tucker has changed the dynamic of that lineup.
Right.
However, when you look at
PCA,
yes,
for Saya
yeah.
in particular, I mean, you're able to hit Nico and Dansby down in the lineup. You don't have to rely on them as much. You're able to lead off, and he's kind of more comfortable because they're trying to throw him strikes because they want to be able to pitch around Tucker if possible.
Right.
So he just changes everything.
Right. For a team like the Dodgers, there's very few holes anyway, so everybody's protected. So yeah, moving him down, hit him wherever you want. If he gets the most at bats out of leadoff spot, that probably works. I just think it's a little bit of a missed opportunity. If our leadoff hitter was hitting 55 home runs, I would consider moving him down, but that's because we don't have the embarrassment of riches that the Dodgers do, where every guy has the potential to hit 30, 40 plus home runs.
Yeah. So look at it this way. If Shohei Ohtani, if his stats were Ian Happ's stats, I think you'd like that. If he had 20 homers and 35 RBIs in the leadoff spot, I'm pretty sure you'd like that.
That's Ian Happ's entire season, not the first 20 games.
Right.
But,
right.
Yeah, if Ian Happ gets, if he gets 20 home runs for the year, that's good. Right. Oh yeah, no. Again, I would take it. I just think sometimes, again, when the Cubs are trying to put Schwarber in the leadoff spot, and he was doing it for the Phillies, again, I know it's dynamic, but a guy like that would drive in a lot more runs if he's hitting a couple slots down. But then also, I would argue too, even
allegedly
in the Dodgers stacked lineup, I still would say the most feared hitter is Shohei Ohtani. I know they have a lot of guys. But so once you get past the leadoff spot, it's all you can't take a breath because it's you got Mookie, you got Freddie, you got Will Smith, you got Teoscar just came back. There is no breaks in the Dodgers lineup. However, your theoretically, whatever you want to say, your best hitter is hitting first, and then it's all downhill from there. So again, it's lineup pizza stuff. It's just a thought that I had. I think it's more applies to the Braves because their lineup is not nearly as deep. However, they're significantly better with Ronald Acuna in the lineup. But they also have guys that could hit leadoff instead. Michael Harris could hit leadoff. There's just other opportunities, and they've been struggling to score runs. The Braves have.
Yeah.
So that's an opportunity there. We briefly mentioned PCA, or as we would like to call him now, NBPCA, because of all the things he's doing. 14 homers, 49 RBIs, 16 stolen bases, hitting 274. Even the other night, or I think it was yesterday, he goes 0 for 4. He's the ghost runner on second base, steals third base. It's stuff like that and he's gonna learn that, and I think he knows that he can impact the game even without getting a hit, even without getting a home run. I know he gets frustrated, but his defense, all of his other things that are going on now, can he sustain this? I don't think so. But right now, I think he is a legitimate MVP candidate.
Right.
And as you witnessed in Cincinnati, a lot of fun to watch. Any thoughts on the candidacy of MBPCA?
I think that he's already surpassed the Fangraphs
He did.
prediction for 25. I remember looking at that right before the season started, and we were just like, this is a joke.
Yes.
Like, this is a joke. Like, you think he's had a full season. You think is he gonna regress? Like I just didn't think it was it. But what he's doing is
He's played
remarkable.
every game though too. That's the thing. He's played every game. Like they thought he was probably
Yeah,
going to go to Iowa at some point.
and he is just this is the guy. This is
Yeah.
the guy who we thought we were getting. This is a former top prospect in the game. Like he's has the tools to do it at all the levels, and he's doing it. And
Yeah.
it's crazy to watch. He's hitting all over the lineup, which is awesome. It'll be I will he keep it up? I don't know. Do I think it's out of the realm of possibility for him to be a 30-30 guy? Absolutely not. Like he could definitely get there.
He's halfway.
I could
He's
see him.
literally halfway there.
I could see him driving in 90 plus
Mm-hmm.
runs. I don't think he's going to cool off that much. The one thing that I want him to do or not do is just don't get frustrated. Like you just said, you impact the game in so many ways. Don't get frustrated. Just kind of let it flow. Do your thing. Um, he can do amazing things on the diamond, and I got to witness it firsthand this weekend. Obviously, we've seen it a bunch, anyways, but getting a front row seat to that was incredible. It was something special to watch. I'm just excited for the rest of the season, and the things that he's gonna continue to show us and Major League Baseball. No doubt in my mind, if he even keeps it up a little bit, he's going to be the starting center fielder for the National League in the All-Star game.
Yeah.
Um,
If
Unreal.
he has half the season that he's had to start, he would get to 30-30 and 100 RBIs because he's
Right.
halfway there in 50 games.
50
So there's
games.
110 games. I'm saying it would be, and you know what? It's going to slow down. He's not going to keep up this torrid pace because it's hard to do. Wrigley, as we've seen the last 2 days, wind blows in, you're not hitting that ball out.
No.
He hit one that he thought was gone by a mile because probably 2 weeks ago it was when the wind was blowing out, and he's like, "How is that still in?" That's just Wrigley, right? It's gonna play, but he would have to, and it's all possible. He would have to have a very pedestrian 110 games, and he
Yeah.
would still achieve 30-30. I would say
Yeah.
he's going to get at least 40 steals.
Yeah.
And he's already at 49 RBIs. If he's hitting lower in the lineup and hitting grand slams and doing crazy things, he's going to get to 100 RBIs. So,
Yeah.
it's
The one thing is just needs to cut down on the strikeouts. That's the biggest thing. He's already at 57. It happens. I just think he's a way better hitter than that, though. I think he's not a swing out of your shoes type of guy. But they are throwing him a lot more breaking balls. Like they're trying to beat him. They're not beating him with the fastball as much anymore. That was the problem, was that they were beating him with the fastball. But now they're throwing hard sliders down and in. It's like, all right, they're bouncing the slider in. Don't swing at it. You know it's not going to be a strike. Don't swing at it.
As you should. Kinley for the Rockies last night threw 14 pitches in the ninth inning, and 13 of them were sliders. Or the 10th inning, 10th inning.
And that's a good whatever Kinley's ERA says. I mean, he's got a really good slider. It's a good slider. He's a good pitcher.
Yeah. Well, I think for sure he will be the starting center fielder defensively too. I mean, all this is offensive stuff. You bring your glove out there every day too, and he sure does. He robs balls. He's tracking them down. If he's not getting the ball, then no one's getting the ball. That's kind of how I feel about it.
Right. And I mean his D WAR is already at a 1 this early into the season. Like for reference, like Aaron Judge defensive WAR is a little bit different, but Aaron Judge is like at a negative 0.3, which it is what it is. But like him being at a 1 WAR already is crazy.
Well, they're gonna stop running on him because they've kind of he has quite a few outfield assists already. They're just stop running, and they will. They'll stop running, so those assists will come down.
Even the throws where it's like, oh well, they're not going to go anyways. He just ropes it, just strike. It's dude,
you got to remind people once in a while, what the king has.
Yes.
The Red Sox have started to slide a little bit. They've lost 5 in a row since they've lost Alex Bregman, who I was actually watching because the Red Sox have been on quite a bit on TV, FS1. Bregman did something to his quad rounding first base. It's funny
Yeah.
because so you brought up Juan Soto a little bit ago, and that ball he hit off the green monster, and like he should have been on second. He was watching the ball. Bregman did the same thing. He was going hard around first, had to stop because I'm sorry, fly balls to left field are not doubles at Fenway Park. It's not a guaranteed double. So whatever. But hit the bag, immediately points to the dugout. He's like, I'm out. Like, don't even come. No trainer. I'm done. Like right now, like he knew what he did. Unfortunately, though, the Red Sox have been lacking, and it's just a few runs. They've been in extra innings the last 2 days versus the Brewers. They lost an extra to the Orioles 1-2. So it's been a tough 5 games for the Red Sox.
Yeah.
What's your outlook for them? It seems like they're doing enough to win, but they're just not winning games. Again, the Bregman news, it does not help.
Yeah. Well, their bullpen is trash. First off, haven't addressed that, and then they're just not scoring runs. That's the biggest problem. When Bregman was in the lineup, they were scoring runs. In this 5-game stretch, they did get swept by the Brewers. Like that. That happened this afternoon. It was the most runs they've scored in the last 5 games. They've had 2 runs or less, and when I say less, it's been mostly less. 1 run, 2 runs. But yeah, they're just not driving in runs. Bregman's bat is very hard to replace. The pace that he was on, over a 900 OPS, 11 bombs. I think he was leading baseball in doubles. I think he had 17 doubles, 35 RBIs. Yeah, just doing a great job. That was that other Thunder in the lineup. Obviously, Rafael Devers is killing the ball. Like, he is murdering the ball.
Yeah.
He long forgotten about the all the strikeouts that started the season off. Like, he's leading baseball, or he was until Seiya drove in a run earlier. He was leading baseball in RBIs. Has an over 900 OPS himself. But it's just, I just don't know where the extra offense is going to come from. I mean, Jarren Duran is doing well, but Trevor Story is embarrassing. He is in brutal. Trevor Story is bad.
He got pinch hit for the other day.
Yes.
And they were talking about that, and they're like,
he's scraping 200.
Good. Yeah, no, he's not hitting good. But they go, when you're pinch hitting for your starting shortstop and giving him days off, they go, that's a problem. So, yeah, they have a lot of issues. Liam Hendricks has been really bad lately.
Yeah. Their bullpen's bad. They do not have a good bullpen.
Chapman's been okay. I know he let up a run.
Chapman's been good.
But he's got a 2.11 ERA. He's still throwing 99 miles an hour.
But even the starting rotation, like Crochet's good, but who's my guy? Who's my Tanner Houck? Tanner Houck has been. I mean, he looked injured, and he's on the IL. Brian Bayo can't even get into the 5th inning.
Yeah.
They just aren't. They just are not a good team. They're a mediocre team. And the thing is, it's like they're kind of like the Cubs. They don't spend money. Yeah. They don't spend money. I saw a stat today. Since they won the World Series in 2018, they are 464 and 464. 500 baseball. Mediocre for a big market team.
You know who else was in that same category for the last 5 years before this current downtrend? The Chicago White Sox for the past 5 years before the last 2 seasons were completely 500.
Right.
Completely mediocre. And it's funny because Garrett Crochet has had 2 runs or less of run support in like 10 of his 11 starts this year.
Yeah.
So he's wondering if he's still wearing the wrong socks still.
Right. Yeah, and it's like where's the offense going to come from? It's like you're figuring.
Christian Campbell has not been very good lately.
No.
You have Roman Anthony. So the other silver lining, we are now watching the Worcester Woo Sox baseball. I will also say the broadcast from the other minor league broadcasts I've watched to the Woo Sox is really good. It's almost major league. But you have Roman Anthony, Marcella
Meyer
just got called up. So like they have a really good system there. They just have nobody who can play first base, so that's why they brought in Ryan Noda. They're excited about him. He looks energized. He looks good. He's swinging the bat. He drove in 2 runs today. He's very athletic. He looks athletic. He looks fired up.
Well,
so
I texted him the other day and I said, "Hey, congrats! You're going to a great organization. You're playing with some exciting guys in that clubhouse." And he just responded to me like, "I'm hoping to not be an hour from Boston for long." I'm like, "Go get him!"
Well,
Like
he's
that's the great mindset to have.
watching him the last, I would say, year and a half in AAA. It's been a little frustrating because you know what he needs to do. He needs to hit, and
Mm-hmm.
we know he's super patient, but
Yeah, we know he gets on
we
base.
know he
We
gets
know
on
that we
base.
know the walks are there.
But you need to hit because you're in a
Yeah.
hitter's league, and he's
Mm-hmm.
not hitting. And you know what he's doing though? He's swinging the bat now. He
Yeah.
came out first pitch, swinging, two hits
Ambush.
first game. Like just, and that's what you got to. And again, he's 29. He needs one more shot, and he's in an organization where he can legit. Again, the Red Sox they're struggling. They are a good ball club. They have talent.
Yeah.
They have the potential to win. I think this is the first time he's been on a team that has the potential to win since the Blue Jays. So,
Right.
or I mean, you weren't going to play for the Dodgers, but like that organization, you're one step away, right? So good for him. I think we might see him honestly, because they need a first baseman.
Yeah.
Toro has an extra base hit streak going, so who knows? But
Yeah.
Ryan Noda, I would argue, is the only legitimate first baseman in their farm system right now
Right.
that can
Right.
play Major League
Yeah.
Baseball.
Right. Yeah. Because we got Toro and Nick Sogard, and I mean you're trying to
Yeah.
teach Campbell. It's like I don't know. He's the guy, but like the Red Sox, they need a shot in the arm from someone. I wouldn't be surprised if Roman Anthony is up too.
Roman Anthony is killing
Really
the ball.
soon. He's killing the ball, and he's leading off. I don't know where he'd hit in this lineup because Duran's a good leadoff hitter. Duran is going to catch fire. It's just what he does. But yeah, I heard that they'd possibly move Rafaela, put him on the bench or trade him. He's an elite center fielder, but he just doesn't do enough with the bat. They need hitters. They need guys who can hit.
They have too many of those guys to suffer a loss like Bregman and not fill it with anything right now. It's tough.
Yeah.
But yeah, they'll figure it out. Like I said, they got some reserves coming in. We'll see. I think you see Roman Anthony real quick here. I mean, what position does he play? He's playing a lot of DH down there.
I mean, he's a center fielder. He could play all three outfield positions, and he plays center field. So they'll find a spot for him. Again, if you hit, they're going to find a spot for you. Meyer has been solid so far. It's cool. I mean, 22 years old, big shortstop, but can play third as well. He's got 5 hits in his first 5 games. He was stinging the ball, especially lately down with the Woo Sox. So I'm glad he's up. I hope he stays. Future's very bright. That's a 2021 draft pick who's already in the show.
Right.
And a high schooler at that when he was picked.
Well, we also know that Duran is a very capable center fielder. So you talk about Rafaela. I mean, you could very easily move. I know playing the monster is a little different, but you could very easily move Roman Anthony to left field and Duran back to center.
Right.
There's options.
There's
options.
And Wilyer Abreu is a Gold Glove right fielder, so he's got some pop. So yeah, if you move, it's all about the bat at this point. So if you have an outfield of Anthony, Duran, and Abreu, and they're all hitting, like that's what you need.
Yeah, and I think Christian Campbell might, even though he signed that deal earlier this year, he might find his way back to AAA just to figure it out because he's really dropped. He's hitting close to 220 now. That's not ideal.
He's got to hit.
One guy who's come back with a vengeance, who you saw firsthand again in Cincinnati, Matt Shaw, made some mechanical changes. We don't know exactly what he did. His swing looks different. He's not as closed off with his foot. Either way, seeing the ball well, hitting the ball well, crushing the ball. Walk-off hit last night. And what Matt Shaw does for this Cubs lineup is it puts guys like John Birdie back in their rightful spot. On the bench. Now, I don't mean he belongs on the bench. He's never play, but he allows you to pinch run him last night, steal a base, and then score the game-winning run. That's what that allows you with John Birdie, and that's where he's an asset. Matt Shaw back with the glove too. We already knew he had the glove, but he's been phenomenal at third base.
He's great. He's great.
They won't do it this year because he hasn't played enough games and he can't catch up now. But the gloves and the infield, you have 4 potential Gold Gloves now.
Mm-hmm.
We thought
Yeah.
that at the beginning. You won't get there. I don't know if Michael Busch should get enough credibility, but he's
Mm-hmm.
phenomenal, and the two up the middle are good. But Matt Shaw defensively has been
Mm-hmm.
refreshing compared to
Yeah.
Vidal Brujan, who's DFA worthy at some point when someone gets healthy. Matt Shaw, fire away.
Yeah, man, it is just very, very clear that he's the guy. And I go back to the start of the season, being a rookie and having your first taste of professional, like the highest level, be against the gauntlet that the Cubs had to play. You're facing the best pitchers on the best teams in the league.
Yep.
So it was like a trial by fire.
Yeah.
And him getting sent down, I don't think it had anything to do with his performance. It's like he just has to figure it out a little bit more. He's come back revitalized. There was nothing left for him to do. He's had like a 950 OPS
No.
with Iowa. But since his return, over 900 OPS, he has 5 doubles, 4 stolen bases. He had 2 last night. Makes a lot of contact. He can fly. He just contributes to this already super athletic, super fast Cubs lineup. The Cubs are I would argue, they're the most athletic and fast team in this game. They have a lot of guys who got a motor, who can run on the bench and in the lineup. And yeah, that glove has been unfreaking believable. When I was in Cincinnati, which we'll talk about in a little bit here, he made this play where it was like a one hopper, and he kind of lost his footing a little bit, but he made this throw across his body and just perfect strike to first base. Like, he just has the timing down. He's got the arm. He's got the quick twitch. I think it also helps being surrounded by guys like Dansby and Nico and Michael Busch, guys who can help you kind of navigate the defensive end of things. Very clearly is the guy. It's been a blast watching him. He's got, I think, 4 multi-hit games since he's been recalled as well. But very clearly is the guy. I'm glad that he's made the adjustment, and I'm excited to see him continue to contribute to this already amazing team.
Yeah. Well, this speed that's something that Craig likes to coach. We saw that with his teams in Milwaukee. They like to run. So I think this speaks to his aggressive style of managing. He's not afraid to steal bases. I said Birdie last night stole second, and then Nico walked on like the next pitch. So, it's like, well, okay, well, we got it anyways, but you want to get that guy to second. I think Nico was talking about Matt Shaw because they're like, all right, now he's back, and he alluded to the same thing. He goes, yeah, you also need to take into consideration, we saw a bunch of Cy Young winners the first month of the season, so it wasn't like we were playing. He goes, every major league pitcher is tough, and we saw it with Ballesteros too when he came up. I mean, the level of pitching at Iowa is one thing, and then there's the major leagues where every guy is the best guy. Like, even the worst guy is the best guy. He goes, they're all better than those guys at AAA. So just because you're hitting down there doesn't mean it translates up here. But he definitely belongs with the glove, and I think that's enough to keep him up, honestly, even if he doesn't hit 300. We don't need that. We need his glove. We need someone competent at third base. And he hasn't even been playing there that long, but it looks really good. He's making all the plays. And the hitting is a bonus, but he's hitting well, going the opposite way, which means he's just a little bit late, right? But no, just last night's walk-off was kind of just and he didn't crush the ball, but he knows, I just need to get it in play, right? Just need to get this ball in play and Birdie will score. And he does just that, dumps it into right field, walk-off, great for him. He's 23, and he's, it's just enjoy the moment. As I said, a lot of these guys are young, but what we're seeing from him has been a lot of fun. And you saw a lot of fun in Cincinnati. We'll call it Cincinnati chaos. When it was funny because, this is just a thing. Ryan likes to buy seats behind poles. That's just one of your things. We have sat at Wrigley with Ryan seats behind a pole. My bachelor party, we were behind a partition, so Ryan posts the picture of his seats on Friday night, and we go, oh, of course, Ryan is sitting behind a pole. we didn't know it'd be the PCA poll, the Grand Slam poll, and that he'd be on TV. Um, Cincinnati Chaos. That's all it is. I mean, what a thrilling series to be at. I'm sure.
Mhm.
Vibes in the ballpark. I mean, you tell us. I wasn't there, so.
Right, right. And I just want to start all this off by saying people can say whatever they want about the Great American Ballpark, but it is a fun place to watch a game, especially when it's good baseball on both sides. I've always enjoyed my times there. This was my third visit to Cincinnati for a game. I've been to several games there, but it's called the Great American Launching Pad for a reason. The ball flies there, but I mean the optics are just great. And when the ballpark's full, it's even more fun. So initially, we had planned. We wanted to go somewhere. Usually in May, we like to take a road trip. Completely spaced out that it was Memorial Day weekend. I didn't even realize that it was. I was just looking for. Yeah. I was looking for games, and I'm like, oh man, the Cubs are in town. And so we ended up booking the weekend, and I'm like, oh well, it's Memorial Day weekend, so that was another thing. So initially, we had only planned to go to the Friday night game, and then Saturday rolled around, and we decided to go to that one too. But to start everything off, the Friday game was probably one of the most thrilling games I've ever been to. One of the most thrilling games I've ever watched. Just kind of the epitome of what this Cubs season has been. If the pitching doesn't have it, the offense can just battle back. The pitching, I would say more the starting pitching definitely did not have it this weekend. Rougher outing from Matthew Boyd, rougher outing from Colin Ray, very rough outing from Ben Brown. But the offense in two of the games continued to click, come through in the big moments, and the bullpen was just completely shut down. So game one, they're down six, as everybody saw. They're down 6-2 in going into the seventh inning. We are by the foul pole in right field. We're three rows back from the foul pole. Really great view. The only thing I couldn't see was Saya standing in right field, but aside from that, great view. Cubs start to make a little bit of noise. Kyle Tucker comes up with a big hit, knocks in a couple runs. They are down 8-2. They're down 6-4 at the time. 2 RBI single for Tucker. PCA steps in the box, and Tony Sentian, who is a high leverage reliever, throws gas, nasty slider, one of the best relievers in baseball, one of their best relievers. He's pitching, and I turned to Leah. PCA is coming to the plate. I said, "This is a huge moment, and he's here for it." That's all I said. I'm like, he wants this. That's exactly what I said. And mind you, this was later in the game. He had already hit a 2-run shot off of Hunter Green, who is one of the best pitchers in baseball, on a 99-mile-an-hour fastball on the outside part of the plate. That doesn't happen. You don't hit home runs off Hunter Green that fast on the outside part of the plate. So he's already hit a tank. So I say, he wants this. He wants this moment. First pitch, towering fly ball. It's twisting. I'm tracking it. I'm thinking I'm going to catch a foul ball from PCA. And I'm looking up and looking up and looking up, tracking it the entire time. All of a sudden, the ball, disappears. And I, turned around because I had no idea where it went. And then everybody's going nuts. And he hits a grand slam off the foul pole. And we're just going, it was so, I didn't even know how to react. Usually you'd have a better reaction than what I had. But I thought the thing was going to be foul. I thought I was going to catch it, but it's gone. And the whole stadium is going wild. He is just, around the bases, screaming. He's jacked. 6 RBIs in that game for him, 3 hits, just unbelievable moment. And then obviously from there, they just continued the onslaught of just bombs. Seiya hits a 3-run bomb in the next inning. Dansby hits a 2-run shot after that. They end up winning 13-6. Bullpen shut down the entire way after Julian Merriweather threw up all over himself, but shut out baseball from the 5th inning on.
Julian, no Merriweather on the lineup anymore. He's
right,
in DFA'd.
Right.
So
right, but yeah, the pen just dominated, and the offense came back. It was so exciting.
Yeah.
Ended up buying tickets for Game 2. Colin Ray struck out a lot of guys, but threw up all over himself. The Cubs had 11 hits, just couldn't string anything together. But even then, later in the ball game, sack fly. Carson Kelly comes in for Miguel Amaya, who is going to be out a few weeks, 4 to 6 with an oblique strain. But he hits a home run off the left field foul pole. And up to the very end, they were battling. And then Sunday, Ben Brown probably had his worst outing as a pro. They're losing 8-3 after 5 innings, and they just battle. Reese McGuire has been battling his way back to Major League Baseball, hits 2 dingers, threw a guy out. He threw a couple guys out last night. They come back and win 11-8. The Pen goes 4 and a third inning of shutout baseball. Thielbar, Pomeranz, Palencia, Keller, Brazier, all the guys. So,
well, the crazy thing too is, I mean, last year we were talking about Yan Gomes and Miguel Amaya and their lack of production, not throwing runners out, no hitting, where it's like they're getting nothing out of their catchers. And this year, anybody who catches a game for the Cubs has their bat just magically becomes. I don't think Reese McGuire ever had a 2-homer game in his career. I don't think he had 2 home runs last year total. Like, it came out of nowhere, but it was like good for him. Again, launching pad, I don't know how many ballparks those balls leave, but those are 2 solid hits, and he just, rose to the occasion. He's the only catcher on the roster. I think the emergency catcher would have been Vital Brujan if they got to that point. Like, they had no second catcher, so it's like, hey, you're going out there 2 days in a row because Carson Kelly's sick now.
And I think the Cubs catcher position, like, they probably have like 15 homers and like 55 RBIs. Like
Miguel Amaya, if they would have copy and pasted Miguel Amaya's Fangraph from last year too, he's already exceeded that. So yeah, he's got like
Kelly's got like 28 or 29. Amaya's got like 24. Reese has like 3 or 4. So like that's 50 plus runs batted in from your catcher position.
Yeah. The concerning thing though is the starting pitching is starting like Colin Ray is pitching how he historically has lately. The last couple of games has kind of been his career. I think it's an anomaly what he did in April and May, like most of the time. Matthew Boyd, I think he's a serviceable pitcher. Ben Brown has not proven himself in short stints, which might mean to me he might be a bullpen arm, which is fine.
I think so.
But in the rotation, I mean, we saw flashes last year of him doing really well before he had the neck strain and was out for the second half of the year, but he hasn't been able to pitch long into games, and he's been bad early and bad late, which is not a good recipe for a starter. So
I think ultimately whether he gets sent down to figure it out or they just make the switch now, he's definitely an important part of their staff, but I think he'd be better served as a bullpen arm. And they really need to go out and get a couple starting pitchers. But I'll say, man, I mean, JMO has been pitching very well lately, and Cade Horton has been fantastic.
Cade Horton has gone from let's call this guy up because we need a spot start to you can't take this guy out of the rotation right now because who else do you have? Like, he's become kind of an asset in that way.
And his stuff is so good. Like his fastball, like he throws some that are like really straight, but then he'll throw other ones that have some kind of cut on them, and it doesn't look like a cutter. It's just moving, but it's 96 miles an hour. And then his breaking balls, like his curveball is a hammer, and then that slider it's on that same plane, and then it just sweeps out. Like he looks confident and comfortable, and just he just needs to be himself. Like you have one of the best defenses in baseball. Like
Well,
pitch into that and get the Ks when you can. But yeah, him and JMO have been great. And Shota, I saw through a bullpen and did some fielding practice. So I don't know what his timeline is, but he's probably not terribly far away. But they need to add a couple of like good starters. They have to.
they are definitely in the market. The only problem with Cade Horton, he said playing the defense, is he has been susceptible so far to the long ball. So especially when the wind starts blowing out, like right now it's blowing in. Like this Rocky series has been very low scoring, not many home runs, and if you look at the box score, the home runs have been 371 feet, 391 feet. Like no one's hitting 440-foot home runs right now because the wind is
No.
howling in. So those are very pitcher friendly days. But we also know, as we saw with even Shota last year, who's a fly ball pitcher, fly balls in June, July, August go out at Wrigley on certain days. So hopefully you can rein that in a little bit. That'll play. Like I said, lean on that defense. You have Gold Glove quality outfielders, Gold Glove quality infielders. Play into that. But more importantly, they need him to soak up innings for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think he's capable. He definitely has the stuff to do it. It's great seeing him up, seeing him experience some success, and then he gets to be around the ballpark too, which kind of changes your outlook about the franchise. It's a great place to play, a great fan base to play in front of. This could be a very, very fun summer and fall if they can continue to do the things that they're doing. This offense is on a torrid pace on the bases and just hitting the ball.
Yep.
They're already surpassing the 2016 Cubs in a lot of categories. I would say mostly all categories when it comes to hitting, and we know how that offense was.
Yes.
So this is a completely different team, but they are doing things that team wasn't doing, or doing it at a better rate than that team was doing.
You can't turn any game off because you don't know if the bullpen's going to hold the lead, but also you don't know if the offense is going to come back. So it's two-edged sword there. But we'll see. We're about 60 plus days away from the trade deadline. So I would say in the next 30 days or so, you're going to see if teams are going to start to sell. That's when I think it's going to be prudent to pounce on those guys. I think the last Cubs question would be is Daniel Palencia potentially the closer option? He throws 101 miles an hour. You can't tell me he doesn't have the stuff. We know he doesn't have the experience. And I think short term, they're going to give him a shot. I don't like that as the option going into August, September, October.
Right.
But is there anything that he could do other than maybe just pitch lights out for a month?
That's what he has to do. He has to be lights out. He has to not give up runs. He has to not clog the bases. It's not an easy thing to do. Being a closer is not. You have to have the mindset. You can be a great relief pitcher, but not have what it takes to be a closer. And the thing is that I mean, you've said it before, and you said it last year a lot. Craig is going to pitch the guys that he has. He's gonna ride or die with these guys, and if someone gets to a point where they're so brutal that they can't be trusted anymore, then they're not going to be the closer anymore. Yep. I don't think, like when Porter Hodge comes back, I don't think he's going to be the closer. I think they're going to let Palencia do his thing. But the other thing is that you have other guys, like if Palencia doesn't work out, they could give Pomeranz a shot. They could give Keller a shot. They could give Ryan Brazier a shot. There's guys that they have that they could give a shot if it doesn't work out. But honestly, I like where they're at. I like these guys. I mean, even Presley. Like Presley's starting to pitch well in a more low leverage spot. But I'm sure like he'll continue to get innings. He'll continue to throw like 6th inning, 7th inning, maybe an 8th inning here and there, but not be the closer, and that's completely fine. They just need guys who can get outs and not give up too much or not give up anything. But yeah, why not? Why not ride Palencia? Why not give him a shot and see what he does?
Well,
If he doesn't do well, then you got other guys.
I don't think you have any other options, but we will see how it rides out. Like I said, I think we're about 30 days away from people making moves, but we'll see how that shakes out. Again, we'll talk more baseball in a couple weeks. Episode 50 coming up. I'd love to get Tim on and talk about steroid era baseball. That seems to be a good topic, but we will see what we can do for that. But until next time, Blues come in pairs. Take it easy, guys.
Peace.
Peace.